to the Warrior Mindset Podcast. We are your guide as you make your way through life, getting better 1% every day. We believe that life is lived and true victory won through adversity. Nothing easy is ever worth it. We believe in the warrior ethos and support those that choose to walk that
Another
path.
Way of the Seal episode. I'm Gene.
Heather.
Awesome. We're going to go through
Chapter
some ideas on chapter
Principle
7.
seven.
Yeah, Principle 7. I've got my notes, but we'll catch up. We're going to go on a ruck. Got our, what you got there? Got your ruck on. I got mine on. Here you go. Got 30 pounds. What you got? Like 20?
20.
So we're just going to ruck from our little headquarters here at our gym, and we're going to go to the State House and talk along the way. So we'll be checking in. All right, you guys ready?
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Cool. All right. It's all about building your intuition, right? Did you have a chance to get caught up on it?
Yeah, and I read through your notes too. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's about sort of like, in short, trusting your gut. I think it just goes to sleep. Yeah.
But still goes.
Yeah. So it's about big trucks.
Avoiding not dying. Aggressive drivers this morning already.
So trusting your gut. So,
Yeah.
do you trust your gut?
Recently,
Yeah?
I think we talked about previous episodes where it took me to we talked about being in your 20s,
Right.
your teens to your 20s to your 30s, and that transition that takes place. And for me, I really didn't listen to my gut until my mid-20s,
Okay.
until present. It takes really knowing yourself and doing what you feel is best.
That's right.
So that's sometimes hard to listen to yourself.
Yeah. I think it goes farther than just listening to yourself. I think it's like trusting that you're able to make the right decisions. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like trusting your
Trusting your own
experience,
judgment.
trusting your wisdom,
Right.
like realizing you do have some.
Yeah. Even trusting that and not not letting other people dictate that, because they don't know your life experiences.
Right.
And how that influences your choices.
Right.
So when I hear people say, "Oh, you're too young to do this," or "You're
what
too
does that
this,
mean?
you're too that," I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't even know me.
For you.
Right.
Yeah, for what's in your head.
And for what your experience is, but let me tell you about mine.
Not for me.
Right. And not letting you have to justify yourself
Right.
to people.
Right. Which way we're going to go here? To the right?
I was thinking right, and there's kind of sidewalks once we get halfway
Yeah,
up the assembly.
let's do that. Let's go to the right. So another big part of this section is awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one talks a lot about
Sight.
external awareness, like being aware of your surroundings, being sort of in tune to being able to read the room, right? Like be able to know what's happening around you, but also knowing how you're going to respond to something, like when you're in the situation.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. It
So
does.
he gave a couple of it was safe here in the bike lane. He gave a couple of techniques.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the name. Need to look it up.
It was focusing on
Yeah. So
far-sighted.
focused awareness and relaxed awareness, right? So focused awareness would be like intently taking in details.
Right.
Yeah. So like
Right.
being in that OODA loop, right, where you're observing, orienting, detecting, and acting.
You're listening. You're
Yeah.
taking in.
You're,
And everything.
you're recording, making decisions. And then the other one is like relaxed. So it'd be like soft eyes. Like
Meditation.
taking everything at once.
Like writing. Yeah.
So find that interesting that like a SEAL or somebody would train those two aspects.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about it. Like in a workout, like maybe a hero WOD, like a long 45-minute workout. You have to be detailed. Like say you're doing clean and jerks. That's a very technical movement.
Mm-hmm.
To be very detailed. So when you're doing that, you can't just be like, soft focus. I'm gonna do this.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to be able to go in and out of those mindsets. For me, at least.
You do.
Because you get into like to me, it's like a rhythm.
Yeah, when you get in that flow state,
Right.
you can ignore the pain or whatever. You
Right.
can keep going.
But still focus on the details of the shit you gotta do.
Right. Or, you know, even more so, like let's say you're in a competition, being able to
Yeah.
pay attention to what the person next to you is doing and where they are,
Right.
but not like letting it overtake you.
Right.
Uh,
I think that's why when I was so shocked to hear that he, Mark Divine, he does a lot of meditation,
Mhm.
a lot of yoga. Because if you've never meditated or if you've tried meditating before, it's hard.
yeah,
It's really hard.
it is hard
like,
to start.
To
Yeah.
have a soft and like let things just
Yeah.
wash over you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
yeah, when
tough.
I haven't done as much lately as I have at one point in my life. I've always used visualization,
Mhm.
a visualization practice, more so than just
Yeah.
like, you know, like you'd think like the mysterious meditation.
Right.
You're like, you know, bong, hit the bowl, and you're like, you know, out of it. So I'll always use it. I always try to use it as a tool. Like, so if I have something I'm trying to remember,
Mhm.
I will use that time to constantly go over that thing, you know.
I do that shit in my dreams.
Do you?
Like I was doing kata in my dreams last night. I'm like,
Yeah, good.
I'm doing this
That's how
stuff.
you get there.
But I also do that with like speeches and stuff.
Right, you almost have to.
When I was giving during my campaign, I had a lot of talks and forums and stuff like that, and I would, in my sleep, review it and then wake up and be like, oh, I need to change that part of it.
I got you.
I need to do that.
That's cool.
But it was in my sleep,
Right.
so I think I was still sleeping, getting rest.
Let's cross the street here.
See how it's going.
Yeah, being nice.
Thank you.
The weirdos with the camera guy.
But I guess how do we associate that with like life?
Right.
Is that like living like in the present, one day at a time?
I think so. I think
compared
it's
to bigger goals.
yeah. I think it's about practicing something that allows you. Hang on. It's not that.
I just don't know where they're going.
No, I got you. It's about staying in the present. I think it's about a practice of something that lets you learn to stay in the present, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have, let's take martial arts, like kata. You've been doing that in your head.
Mhm.
Let's say you go over that exercise, like kata, a dozen times in your head.
Yeah.
When you actually do it in person, in the middle of class, one, it's gonna be improved, right?
Mhm.
Because you've done it enough in your head to where maybe it's correct, whatever. But then when you're there, you're able to pull on that past experience.
Right.
I mean, it's the same as being a real experience.
It's like it's a muscle reflex.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, your brain controls your body.
Yeah. I
So-
did the same thing at prepping for volleyball games.
Right.
I would in my head visualize myself blocking the ball
Okay.
and exactly how my feet will move to get to the ball.
Interesting. Sort of pre-baking in that muscle memory.
Right. But then life, I desperately need to focus on that, what do we want to call it? Softer focus.
Right.
I'm not great at that.
Right. Right.
That's where I
Yeah, and I think that's the dichotomy of being able to balance both.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Good. All right. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Thomas.
Good.
All right. So, building your sensory perception. It's like it sounds really technical.
It is though.
Yeah. One of the examples he gives is making sure that you go out into nature.
Yeah.
And while we're not necessarily in nature per se,
We're outside.
I'm outside. There's trees. I mean, it's a sidewalk, but you know, hey,
Look outside the park.
you're walking the park.
Nature.
Something like that. What does that do for you? I mean, we do this a lot. We go on a ruck out in the woods, you know, like, what does that do for you? I mean, because I enjoy it. Why do you think we enjoy it?
Well, typically you don't have any devices on you. You don't have your cell phone. You're not checking the email. You don't hear pings and
Right.
stuff like that. So I think inherently just being out, you're doing stuff. You can't be plugged in.
Right.
Even have my cell phone here, I was taking pictures. Guilty. But it
I would say
forces
even
you-
that though, that's different than like just checking Facebook.
Right.
You were checking Facebook, were you?
No.
Okay.
No, I was taking pictures. But to me, if I'm like out in the yard or going for a run, or when I was like cycling a lot of miles, you know, you're on your bike for 2 hours, completely checked out,
Right.
and all you can focus is on
It's
your
just
head
the
and
thing
your
you're
body,
doing.
and not getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
So your awareness, it goes back to like awareness. Okay, there's traffic coming, I need to get over.
Right.
Then back to your body. Okay, my cadence is off.
Yep.
Going back to form.
My breathing.
So if you like actually do like meditation or yoga,
Yeah, man.
it's depending on who you do it with, or whether it's like an app on your phone or whatever, but they force you to use your mind to think like outside and hear the birds, and then like focus internal. So it's very external, internal.
Like if you do it outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you hear like your external surroundings, like
That's cool.
the bees buzzing, and then you come back inside like and hear your breath.
Okay. I can't say I've ever done yoga outside.
Should do it.
Is it cool?
Yeah. City Yoga does it. Stacy, she's doing it at Hampton Gardens, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah. What about you when you're outside?
A lot
I know
of this,
you have an outdoor gym too, right?
yes.
At home.
Yes, I do. I love training outdoors. I love training martial arts outdoors.
Yeah.
I like the connection to the
Yes.
ground.
Yes.
I like the connection. Now, that, you know, I also really love training inside of a gym or a dojo. That's a different experience. I find that it is often more intense indoors than outdoors, and I think that's because I'm connected to
You're
the
like,
ground.
You're here, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, not to get too nerdy, there's something about being barefoot and touching the earth too.
No, it's
You know?
science.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
science there.
It is scientifically proven. Electricity flows through your body
Yeah.
and grounds. It literally
Yeah,
grounds you.
the grounding,
Mhm.
the grounding action. Yeah. So I mean, there's that, and I like just the fresh air, and it resets me.
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying, let's kind of like for that time that you're out there, nothing really matters. You know, you just kind of, especially when you have like 30 pounds on your back,
Right.
you're keenly aware of your shoulders
Yeah.
and your feet.
Yeah, growing up, it's funny I have a desk job now, but growing up I was outside literally all day, every day.
Oh yeah.
Yes, my brothers, they played a lot of video games and stuff like that, but if it was not storming outside and not raining,
You're outside.
I was outside.
Yeah, same
all
here.
day in the
Yeah,
woods,
I prefer it.
because we didn't have a lot of shit to play with anyway.
Right.
So we were building forts and
Outdoorsy people.
beating each other up.
Yeah. That's how it should be.
That's right. And that is true. Being outside. Oh, I got a shovel. Spray paint. Build something. Also being outside, I noticed doing like kata, like inside, changing your surroundings. I'm like, oh wait, this isn't
Right.
the same.
Right.
So to me, that is like commensurate to like practicing on different courts playing
That's right.
volleyball. Like
That's
you're
right.
not going to play on your home court every time.
Right.
So
get
you have
acclimated to
be
the same thing,
Different
yep.
environments, right?
Yes, I like that too.
Different music, different smells, different.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll have somebody train a kata for like a week or so inside. They're kind of like facing a certain direction, and then we'll just like change their direction.
Oh
and
yeah,
they can't
it's
do the
hard.
kata.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't do it
Absolutely.
anymore. Like, what's happening?
Absolutely.
Well, now you're facing, south or whatever.
Yep. It's like these people that go into the gym and pick the same spot every time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mental
There's a reason for it.
thing.
You got to change it up.
Yeah.
I like changing shit up too. But yeah, so I mean that goes into like your situational awareness.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's talking about here.
Yep.
All right, cool.
We made it to the State House.
Yeah. We're at the, what is this? African American History Monument. It's pretty cool.
Full circle.
Full circle. Come full circle.
We are.
All right. Undercovering your background of obviousness. I like to be able to see myself. Right? It's a little inside baseball, I think. So aligning the inner with the outer. Be who you are on the outside in public with the person who you really are on the inside. That is probably
wow.
hitting home for you.
That's some deep shit.
Right?
What do you mean?
Major.
What do you mean by
Well,
like
you just finished your campaign.
campaign? Yeah.
And I'm sure it wasn't easy to reconcile the campaign person with some of the shit you really wanted to tell people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's people where you're like, yes, that's a great idea. Where you're like, you're batshit crazy. You know?
Yeah. I mean.
Well, how did you do that? How did you reconcile that at the end of the day? Or are you just
well,
spiritually damaged now?
No, I'm good. I always tried to come back to, like, this is not about me. This is about what's best for the state.
Right.
Always when it came to decisions. So while, you know, it may not be exactly what my belief, it's not about me.
Right.
And that was my mentality with the campaign from day one, was that this is not my seat, this is the state seat, so I want to make the best decisions for the entire state. Okay. That's how I kind of rectified it.
Yeah, I really
reconciled it inside
I will
my
say,
head.
you started your campaign, and it was sort of like, here's my history, here's what I do.
Right.
And then it changed into like, here's what's going on in the world around us in our district. And that's what the story was focused on. And I think that it really took roots, and I think it really exploded when you did that.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's one of, I know you just did that because it's who you are, but it is one of the things that this book teaches you, is to take the focus off of you and put it on others, and put it on helping others. And that's how you actually, oddly enough, succeed and get to your goal, right? Because oddly enough, when you did that, you took it off of you and put it on them, you had success.
It wasn't about me.
It's kind of amazing.
Well, I guess it was done on purpose, because I'm very new to the scene. Right. To politics, so people are like, who the hell is this Heather Bauer? She's like, are you related to Andre Bauer? I'm like, no. I had to answer that so many times, or I would say it just
Andre Bauer was a lieutenant governor. He was something else before that.
He ran for something.
Yeah, something. He got in trouble for some really racist shit.
He's crazy.
You can look him up, but anyway.
No relation. Again, no relation. So people not only compared me to that, but, you know, I wasn't ingrained in the party. Like, I'm not a party princess. Like, I'm not. I was just like, I'm a businessman. I've been working hard for, you know, my whole life. And so I think telling people that story, because if you're in that house right there and you don't have a background in that shit, you have to be gritty and want to get stuff done in there. Right. Especially when you're in the minority party like the Democrats. So I think it was important for me to show people my personality, and that when I put my mind to something, I'm going to get it done. Right. No shit. So I want them to trust me. Right. To know that if I earn their vote, I'm going to get it done. Yeah. But then, so I told my story. That was very important. But then it had to shift to what is for the greater good of people. And because people would ask me on the phone, like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, it's not really about me, but what I've heard is this. Right. Does this line up to what you think? They're like, oh yeah, it does. I'm like, well, that's what your neighbor's saying, just right down the road. Right. And I won them over, like, because I'm speaking them. I'm speaking what they
like. Amazing, someone's listening.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. Golf cart.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, the last part of this chapter, we originally planned to do 2, but I think 2 is probably
2 chapters.
It doesn't really, you know, there's a lot of shit in each one. So, so the final part here is like tapping into all of this stuff. Yeah. Right. How do you tap into like your focused awareness, your relaxed awareness? What are the other ones he's got? You know, the awareness level you have when you're out in nature, your ability to sort of be present. Right. To almost predict things, or, you know, be in the moment enough to where you're aware, to where you can actually respond to things like authentically, like who you are.
Right.
You know, there's
It's a long,
yeah, you know what I mean. Like how do you pull that stuff together? And it's sort of like what this whole chapter is about. It's calling it intuition. It sort of builds our intuition, and you know they like SEALs, they train that stuff, right? You know, they have drills and
well, if you think about it, like steel sharpens under pressure. What is that called? What is that? Or
iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
But going back to like visualization, regardless of what you're doing, I think let's say I'm a project manager, and because when you go into a meeting, you can't be like this, so you have to have kind of like, oh, how was your day? You have to be broad and also be targeted at the same time and come in and out of that.
Right.
To have some balance. I forgot I was going with that. But what I meant to say is, like, if you learn those skills, like, you know, that's why I say, like, athletes, they do what when no one's looking, what others won't do.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
And that is the repetition.
Yeah.
That's why unless you're like just freakishly gifted, like they'll shoot more balls, they'll run more, they'll lift more, because when you're under pressure, you have to be able to react. So being Dave is still having a gun to your head,
or whatever.
You don't have time to think. Like you have if you're a platoon leader and you have a split second to decide whether you're going to move out or stay put, and target up and get ready.
Yeah, there's another metaphor, like you know, we've been doing a lot more sparring, like fighting, drilling in the gym, and you know, I'm just going to use this, I'm not like the best fighter. I get my ass kicked regularly, but they think I'm fast. I'm not fast. I'm incredibly slow. It's not about speed, it's about putting in those reps before, practicing over and over and over. I can just do it without thinking about it. Right. And so it seems fast. It's actually incredibly slow. I'm just faster than you because you haven't put in the reps. Right. But once you put in those reps, you're probably going to be faster than me. Right. But it's sort of the same deal where, you know, you got to do the work. Yeah. And that's how you get there, right? Right. Right. The last part here, and he kind of ended with a I wish it would just stay on. With a
That'd be a setting. Change that.
I'm sure it is. With a little blurb, he has these little blurbs. Authentic communication, he has listening. So when you talk to someone, this is an exercise you can do. When you're talking to someone, stop thinking and listen. Yeah. So don't listen to respond. Listen to listen.
Oh, man, I can be bad at that sometimes.
Like, and the exercise is to just try to do that, right? Like, just try to
listen before you respond.
Yeah, like take it in.
Don't listen to respond.
I mean, think about it. Like, how often do you're having a conversation with someone, you realize you're not even like listening to the words they're saying. You're just like waiting for your turn.
Guilty of that.
Me too.
I just did it right now. I'm kidding.
What? I'm serious. I mean, it's
true.
an exercise, and you can start to practice that. And I think the idea is that, you know, if you practice that, eventually, you'll be a good listener. You'll be a good friend. You'll be present. Authentically you.
I answer sometimes, and he's like, "Were you even listening to me?" I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know.
Repeat that for me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm definitely the same way.
Yeah.
Or, you know, put down your phone at the minimum when someone's talking to you. You know, someone's being like gracious enough to give you their time. Yeah. And all you can do is like look at
Stare
Facebook.
At your phone. Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
You don't even realize how rude it is, and I think society is like, you're doing it, and they're not even realizing you're doing it because it's so common. Right. But it's incredibly rude, honestly. That's it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna practice that exercise a little more.
Me too.
Huh?
I'll do it. Okay. Whack.
All right. Well, that's about all for that.
That's a great chapter.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's like encompassing big picture, tiny picture, internal, outside. I mean, that's a good.
It's good stuff.
I can talk about that chapter for hours.
Yeah. The next one's a big one. We'll get through it. There's only one left.
I think we should do like some karate, then do recording. Or hike.
I'll do that.
We'll make the next one fun too. How about you?
Alright.
Later. Everyone needs a rocky moment, even though there's only 10 steps. Did it.